Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning.
This week in history, the ballpoint pen was patented in 1943.
Yes, it was. And the ballpoint pen, also known as the ball pen or dot pen, is a pen that dispenses ink over a metal ball. And the metal used for that little ball is either steel or brass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thus the term, he's got brass balls.
You see that? Or steel. A man made of steel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I guess it's Superman's pen.
His birthday was last week.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Anyway, millions and millions and millions of ballpoint pens are sold, and it's the most common used writing instrument. Did you know that?
Very cool. Everybody's got one.
Yeah. I always use a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling it a dot pen.
Okay, dot pen. Well, we've got some fun penis facts this week.
We always have penis facts now. I'm concerned about you.
It's all about the penis this month. So scientists recently speculated that the head of the human penis evolved into its current mushroom shape in order to scoop out the male rival's sperm from the vagina.
The male rival, so that they know that their gal is with somebody else?
Well, back then it was the man took the woman, and so it was all about survival of the fittest.
Okay, so then they had a scoop. Okay.
Yep, they scooped it out.
Okay.
Anyway, around 1300 BC, Egyptian troops marched home with more than 13,000 severed Libyan penises.
Oh my God.
Yeah, several hundred years later, Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar rolled over Jerusalem and sliced off thousands of the Jewish penises.
You know, that is just painful sounding.
I'd ruin my day.
Yeah. And many days after, we're talking serious bobbit issues.
Here's where some words come from. In pre-biblical times, men would swear on their own testicles. Thus, the word testify is derived from a Roman legal practice of swearing on one's testicles.
I see.
You just made the word testify dirty for me, and I'll laugh every time I hear it.
I didn't know that.
But look at that. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that really interesting?
Yeah, testify. Yeah, it's a dirty word.
What a sexy show we got today.
Don't we always have a sexy show?
We do, but this week it is like super sexy.
Okay, and tell me why it's super sexy. Why?
If
Why is it more sexy this week than any other week?
Well, if you are faint of heart, turn your radio off.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the term pegging?
No.
Mike, you ever hear of the term pegging?
Well, like I'm gonna peg her, or I'm gonna peg him, or is that
I've heard of pegging like hitting someone with a ball and stuff pretty hard, but
okay.
Or like I peg you for this or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like pegging. What do you mean? Like in what context?
Well, sit down.
We are sitting down.
This one is a doozy.
It's a doozy?
That's right.
A doozy.
And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about pegging.
Okay.
Before you give it a try.
Before we give it a try, huh?
Okay.
What makes you think we're going to give it a try?
Well, probably not.
All right, what is it?
Alrighty.
I'm curious.
Pegging. There's a good chance that no one has ever heard of it.
Okay.
And so here's a closer look at this trendy sex act.
Okay.
It's a sex act, and there are toys required to do it.
Oh, my. Okay.
And more couples are trying this than ever before.
Really?
Yes.
I am very curious. What? Tell me all about it.
Alrighty, I will. Well, pegging is the practice of a heterosexual male being penetrated by a woman wearing a strap-on sex toy.
Huh.
Simple as that.
Okay, so now I have actually heard of this.
Oh, you have?
I just absolutely. And
You just didn't know it was called
I
pegging.
didn't know that it had a name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems that it's become more popular since the release of an educational film called Bend Over Boyfriend. Film was released in like 1998.
Okay.
So there's been a lot more discussion and awareness of prostate stimulation. And that's what this is. It's prostate stimulation enhancing the sexual pleasure for men.
I see.
And in fact, back in 2001, a sex columnist named Dan Savage, he held a contest asking his readers to name this practice. And
that's how pegging was
the term
born.
pegging was born. That's
see.
right.
Oh.
Because nobody knew what to call it, and because it was relatively new since this movie came out.
Oh, okay. So this is like a whole how-to video?
I don't know if it's a how-to. I didn't watch the video. Don't think I will, but it might be interesting. I don't know.
Interesting.
So now that it has a name without homosexual implications and this is a how-to video.
Oh, okay. So it is a how-to video.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, yeah. It definitely validated the practice. And
okay. And I can see where some men would be more open to the idea of receiving that type of stimulation then.
yeah, that's prostate stimulation.
Yeah.
They and I think the prostate has something to do with if you push on the prostate, I think it creates a release or an ejaculation.
Interesting.
That's what I think.
Interesting.
So Xandria, that's an adult toy retailer. They reported that they saw a 300% increase in the number of heterosexual couples using these strap-on sex toys
For females to use
female
on their
to
males.
male penetration.
I
That's
have
right.
to say, I have a friend who works in the porn industry. She is, somebody just in the company.
She's not an actress.
No. She works with the sales department and whatnot.
We do have at least one or two actresses.
They're
as
my clients.
Yes.
I've told you that I have these clients. I just won't introduce you. But anyway,
bitch.
Anyway, back to my girlfriend who works for one of these top companies, actually. And when I say top, I mean leading sales around the world. It's amazing how many people purchase pornography, toys and movies and all kinds of different things. But she actually said to me, Elise, and I quote, "It's all about the ass."
I recall her saying that. I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I recall her
It's
talking.
unbelievable. She said that there are more sales for anal products than there are for absolutely anything else.
Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah.
This toy company, Xandria, found about 20% of men who are strictly heterosexual, they reported having at least one experience with penetration from a female lover.
Wow. Interesting.
20%. That's amazing.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Like this is all new to me, so I just find it amazing. So now, with that brief history of pegging out of the way, would anybody here be interested in a couple of tips on trying it out?
No. No, but I have, speaking of the butt, I have an idea. Email me or email us actually at trendradio920@gmail.com. And if you want to know anything more about this and those tips, I will be happy to send them to you along with a $50 gift certificate to
For
Anthony
lube.
to Anthony Vincent Salon.
You know, Elise, we look at hundreds of studies every week.
Absolutely.
And, you and I are always impressed at some of the strange stuff that that scientists spend time and money on.
Absolutely.
And the crazy research.
Crazy.
Now, for example, Swiss researchers recently wanted to know whether women think guys have a good-looking penis or not.
Isn't that a crazy thing to research?
Yeah. And
now, why would you need to even research something like that?
why do they research a shrimp on a treadmill?
I don't know. Okay.
So, as part of this study, the scientists asked female participants to rank which factors they considered most important in an attractive penis.
Okay.
And it turns out women don't love any particular part of the penis at all. They rate it overall genital appearance as the most important factor.
Interesting.
Followed by pubic hair.
They like the pubic hair or they don't?
It must be trimmed and
I see.
attractive.
Okay.
So, characteristics like penile length, the look of the scrotum, the position and shape of the head were the least important qualities.
Really? So what was the most important quality?
The most important quality, well, there's 8 of them. Do you want me to go over them?
Oh my God. I just can't believe that there's actually 8 qualities.
Okay, that's right. Okay, number 1 is the overall cosmetic appearance of the penis.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Number 2 was the appearance of pubic hair, that it's not all long and shaggy and falling out, that it's trimmed and it's neat.
Okay. All right.
3 was the thickness.
Okay.
4.
I'm getting embarrassed.
Oh, no need.
Hey, you're not the one sitting in. Okay, go on.
4 is the texture of the skin.
Okay.
5 is the shape of the head.
Oh boy. I can't believe that they have a whole study for this.
That's right.
What's number 6?
It's the length.
Okay.
7 was the appearance of your testicles. That they should be round and firm and not saggy or uneven.
And last but not least, number 8.
The position and shape of the head.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, women perceive a wide variation of penis appearances as normal or good looking.
I'm finding that to be unbelievable. That there was actually this whole thing and they actually decided on what's good looking and what's not.
And it was the women who decided, not the scientists.
Yeah.
The scientists just put it in some type of order.
Okay.
So a lot of guys might feel a little self-conscious about, coming up short or hanging a little low. Women don't focus on any one of these things when they judge your Johnson. They just look at the total package.
Yeah, I would think so.
Now, what constitutes a normal-looking penis? And scientists have revealed what women rate as being important. And it really might be a surprise.
I'm really curious. I wasn't part of this study.
And the genitals of men who were circumcised were considered as normal as the uncircumcised genitals. There were 105 women of different age groups, and they completed a standardized questionnaire. The women were asked to rate the importance of 8 penile aspects. And we went over those 8 just a minute ago.
Right.
And circumcised men were chosen because of the absence of a foreskin, which means they all had a similar penile appearance. So the women were asked about their sexuality and their age. Turns out that the older and more sexually active a woman had been, the more accepting of a less attractive penis.
You know, I have to say, I would think that there's a reason for that. I don't think the attractiveness of the penis is the most important thing. I think it's the connection of the people. So if you have a connection with somebody, I don't think you're necessarily looking at their genitals to make sure that they're attractive before you're going to be with them. Because you're having, a relationship or whatever it is you're having based on the connection that you have with the person, not on what their genitals look like.
That's right. And typically a more mature woman
would understand that and would be okay with that. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Size was also less of an issue for these women also.
Because it's the connection between, what do we always say?
It's between the ears. That's right. Not between the legs.
Exactly.
So not only is an attractive penis important, and
the man is just penis envy all over the place
this will
today.
be our penis show.
Oh boy. We had one of these once.
We did?
Okay.
It's like we're having another one.
The pickle show.
That's right. Not all of that made the cut either. But okay, so we talked about an attractive penis, but what about the ideal penis size?
What about it?
Well, another study, and I don't know who agrees on the perfect penis size, but people talk about it a lot.
I just have to say, doesn't the perfect size just matter to the person? If the person is perfect, then the size is perfect?
You think?
I don't know if I'm okay.
But
I know there are size queens. I know there are women that just prefer somebody very, very well endowed. And then there are also other women that, prefer somebody who fits in naturally. But I would think that the perfect size is one that is attached to the perfect person.
Well, it's all about what the group feels, because most people feel that way. And this was a study that was conducted by an online doctor service, and they wanted to look at if and why size matters, because people just talk about it.
Okay.
And they surveyed over 2,000 respondents, about 1,200 males and about 1,000 female, to find out exactly what we want and have when it comes to penis size. And the perceived ideal penis length around the world was, well, we'll tell you that one later. But what's interesting about this is that the women's ideal length was smaller than the ideal length for men.
Well, that's the way it always is.
Sure.
We always are harder on ourselves. A man would definitely want
the
to
bigger
be
the better.
bigger.
It's a very good choice of words there.
Thinking
harder on themselves.
Thinking that that's more important, and the women, it's like this. Women always want to be thinner, and the man always wants something to hold on to.
That's right.
So we perceive things differently for ourselves.
That's right. So guys, if you're worried about your penis size, expectations aren't as big as you think.
Great.
Most people think that all men are worried about whether or not they're big enough in the bedroom, and that's not actually the case.
I don't think that should be the case.
Yeah, in reality, there's only around 10% of people who are dissatisfied with their penis size. That's pretty good, right?
That is.
Now, but there's a lot of variance around the United States and around the globe when it comes to penis preferences. And here's what the survey found.
Oh, I'm curious.
According to the survey, 21% of women said that penis size simply was not important. 10% said that size was very important to them.
Those are the size queens.
Those are the size queens. 1 in 10 make it a difference. But I think as far as the size queen go, and believe me, there's no satisfying them at all. Out of all the countries, Austria had the biggest perceived ideal penis.
Did they really? Austria?
Yes, Austria. Now, the United Kingdom, on the other hand, they thought the ideal penis size would be a full inch shorter than what Austria
Wow.
wanted. And as far as America goes, we're on the high end of the ideal size, but it actually varied between states.
I see.
Doesn't really matter about your size.
Of course it doesn't matter about your size. It's what matters is the connection that you have with somebody.
Always.
And what matters is what you do with what you've got, not with what you've got.
That's right. And size seems to matter a little more in the younger guys.
Yeah, well, because your confidence level isn't there yet.
That's exactly what it is.
Of course that's what it is. We don't worry about that here, huh?
No. Sexual confidence trends upwards as you age upwards.
Of course.
So learn from us older guys. Chill out. Enjoy the ride, baby.
Absolutely, because the ride could be a good one.
So, according to the study, women preferred a penis that was 6.2 inches.
Okay. And what did men prefer?
6.5.
Oh. So they preferred to be bigger than what the women actually wanted.
That's
How do you
right.
like that?
And the average size of a man's penis is about 5.3 inches.
Oh. So women wanted a little more than what average is, but the interesting part about it is that men just wanted to be even more than that. So they really want to be bigger than what the average man is.
And the women really don't care.
No. I don't know any woman who actually ever does really care.
And, just from, my experience, I mean, the bigger you are, that you hurt the women. You have to be gentle. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. And when we do, we're going to let you know all about what your favorite sex positions say about you.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
This program may contain adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Some men love the missionary position, and some ladies love it doggy style.
So do some guys.
And others like their ladies on top.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your favorite sex position is probably the one that gives you the best orgasm, I would think.
I would think so, too, yeah.
But is it always about the orgasm, or can it just be a little bit about the fun?
I think it could be about the fun and about the love and about the connection.
It's always about the connection.
I know. We always say that.
Yes. There is a subconscious level of your sex position and your go-to move, and it does say a little something about your personality.
Does it?
And
I would imagine that it does, yeah. Your go-to move definitely says a lot about you, yeah. I would think so.
Now, a go-to move, is that like the only
That's the one
move?
that, no. That's your one. That's your I'm going to show her this or show him that. That's my special move. That's your go-to, yeah.
Kind of like George Costanza with the swirl and the
kind of like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about, Mike?
Seinfeld wise, or
Not
just The
Seinfeld,
Move?
yes.
Yeah, I love Seinfeld.
Yeah, so it's called The Move.
Yes.
If you're listening, write this down. Google The Move. You'll laugh your tushy off. Anyway, the missionary. You know what the missionary style is.
Of course.
It's man on top. Well, that is...
Thank you for explaining it to me.
Well,
Thank you for explaining it to me, Daddy.
Well, young lady, it is time that we had a
This
discussion
conversation?
about the birds and the bees. And
Yeah, okay.
anyway, missionaries like Sex 101.
Right.
And it's kind of the way
It's
we
kind
were...
of, yeah, everybody was taught that way, really.
Right.
Yeah, when you're discussing it, that's kind of like what it is. And those are the books, those books with those little diagrams,
Yes.
that you're taught. Yeah. This is what you do. This is how you make a baby.
That's how they do it in the movies.
Yeah.
And that position is very, very classic. And it's called missionary man. Well,
Missionary man.
yes. That man might be a little insecure or need reassurance by seeing his lover be responsive.
Oh, that's why he has to constantly do. Okay, so he has to be on top and face to face.
That's right.
I see.
And it's not us that say this. This is sex therapist Ava Cadell, PhD, and author of a book called Neurolovology.
Neurolovology?
Yeah.
Wow. What a book. What a title. Yeah.
Now, if you're a missionary man, you may also be keen on being in control.
I know some people like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Uh-huh.
Is it true that that co-hosts always have to be in control of each other?
Yes, it is.
Got nothing.
Obviously, it has nothing. Yeah, I see it all the time.
Got nothing to do with sex positions, but just being in control of the microphone.
I'm seeing that a lot. Actually, let me just rephrase. I'm hearing that a lot.
Well, that missionary position, it finds both people face to face. There's some intimacy to it, but it...
Depending on what the whole scenario is with the relationship.
Right, but the basicness of it suggests that the guy might not be that confident about his other moves.
Oh. There is something very sweet about it, though. I mean, to be able to be eye to eye is very awesome.
That's right. And that's why monkeys aren't quite as loving as people. Doggy style. Now, this, some people believe, is how man was meant to have sex. I called it monkey, but it's actually
doggy style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something about all kinds of crazy monkey love?
Yeah, there was.
There was something. I don't
There was
know.
a whole thing on monkey love.
Yeah. So
But now we're talking about doggy love.
doggy love, right? Everybody loves a dog
Or wolf love.
or a puppy.
Wolf love.
What the doggy lover does is he taps into his traditional animalistic instinct, just like you say, as the wolf or the king of the jungle. But this guy fears the intimacy, and he is generally unromantic.
Yeah. That's interesting. Wow. Got it.
Right? No eye-to-eye contact, no,
Yeah. Just
no caressing.
it's just
Raw.
raw.
Definitely
exactly.
true. I completely agree.
Yep.
Completely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
There's a position that I think a lot of guys like is woman on top.
Oh yeah.
And, a couple of...
Well, there's a reason for that. I mean, she's right on top of you, looking right at you, and bouncing her self right in front
curves?
of you. Yeah, okay. Her lady lumps. How's that?
I love them lady lumps. Now, guys who love their women to be on top are likely concerned with pleasing their partners.
Okay.
This move shows that he's confident about being submissive.
Oh, wow.
So he lets his lady take control.
That's interesting.
That shows confidence. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about reverse cowgirl. Anybody? I still don't know what the heck that is.
Yeah, that's with her on top, but in the opposite direction.
Oh.
So she's not facing you.
So that's got to be raw and animalistic too, then, I
That
would
is
think.
absolutely
That's
raw.
the woman's...
Doggy style. It's the women's version of. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That is absolutely what it is.
That's right. She's going to take control. I'm not going to look at you. I'm just going to take you the way I want you.
Exactly.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Now, what I think spooning is most often associated with cuddling and sleep, and it's no surprise that these super intimate positions is often the go-to for guys who have a soft spot in their heart, real sensitive.
Yeah, and that's a sweet like loving position.
Yes, it is.
And you're sharing, your whole body is entwined with each other.
I saw a movie yesterday. It was an old movie. I was laughing my butt off. It was called Multiplicity.
Multiplicity?
Yes.
Oh, with Michael Keaton.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God, so funny.
So
Yeah.
funny. And he made like 4
of himself or 5 of himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 copies.
Andy McDowell is in it with him.
She was.
And she's adorable.
Yes.
And always was and still is. But I just love that movie. And there's just a whole bunch of, he wanted to be able to do whatever he wanted to do.
That's right.
So he had, his other guys doing... things for him, working for him. And the funniest was when the one wanted to be with his wife.
The one was very sensitive.
Yeah.
And he would cook and show how to fold and
different personalities.
And they made love and he cried. So they were probably spooning. They cut that part out.
It's so funny.
Yeah, but it was a great movie.
So funny. Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
Anything he does is good.
Now, this is a hot one that I was reading about here, and it's called standing.
Oh boy, yeah.
And you're pressed against the front door. You're hoisted onto the kitchen counter in the shower, and you have standing sex anywhere but the bed.
Oh yeah. I mean, imagine.
That's
seriously. Hot. Yeah. I mean, your lady is against the wall. Even her head, she could be upside down, and. Yeah, her head's hitting the wall, and it can happen.
And the guys and gals who like this position are very adventurous.
Oh yeah,
and,
I agree.
And they're really turned on about the idea of being dirty. Really, really dirty.
Yeah,
or
I agree
naughty.
with that.
So.
Naughty is a good word for them.
Yeah. So the man standing is a mischievous lover who gets a thrill out of getting caught and wants to have as much fun as possible with little regard for the consequences.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you there.
So if you are one of these ladies, email us now and let us know. We're just curious.
Yeah. trendradio920@gmail.com. And when you send your email, I will respond with a $50 gift
There
certificate
she goes again.
to Anthony Vincent Salon for any service you'd like.
I mean, Anthony, I don't know if you can get mad about that one because this is women admitting, some really naughty things to you. So it's almost like it comes with a win-win for both of you.
Yeah, and you're paying them for the information.
Yeah.
All right.
That's in trouble.
Let's give 2 gift certificates.
Okay, you
But you got to give
heard
details.
it.
Details.
Yeah.
We want details.
Listen, email us, and I'll send you a $100 gift certificate toward any service at Anthony Vincent Salon. You'll be glad you did.
So, going from one extreme to the other, do you know how to tell if your co-host, I mean your partner, is losing interest in you?
Yes,
You can.
absolutely.
Oh,
You're not important to them anymore.
that's right. That's right. And it's...
This is a conversation I have with you constantly.
You mean the one that you're always beating me up on?
The one that I'm always telling you, you make everybody else more important. I tell you this all the time.
Wow. You can really be unnerving, especially when you're in a relationship and you're not sure if your co-host is just super grumpy or moody, or they're actually trying to drop clues that she wants to end this relationship. What's that sound like to you?
I mean, it just sounds like
That she's bitchy, right?
No,
no. I mean,
thank you.
it's tough to explain, really.
All right. I'm only joking. You know, we're on all the time, but sometimes when things are off, they are legit, and it's time to give your relationship some serious attention. But just so you know, Mike, our relationship is perfect. We got it between the ears over here.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
sometimes
I
she
get
wants to
to
give
see
it to
it.
me right between the eyes. But seriously, you know, if your partner's been sulking around, they have a scowl on their face, and you have no idea why, well, and they don't seem to be very present when you're around, but you're not sure why. You know, these are all little hints that you're on your way out.
You know, it's interesting that you should say that. Sometimes it's a matter of communication.
It's always communication.
You need to be able to speak to each other and let each other know.
Without hitting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, don't
I
hit
know.
me
Just because
anymore.
you're Italian, okay, doesn't mean you can hit. I know. We hit because we love. I
We
get
hit
it.
because we love.
Yeah, I know. But we've had this conversation. But no, seriously, it's very important to pay attention and very important to focus on your partner and very important to show them that they are a priority. Because once they're no longer a priority, then there's no reason for them to be in your life anymore.
That's right. That's right. When a person stops having the time or desire to be with you, well, then you know your relationship is on life support, and you might as well,
Be done.
pull the plug.
Just be done.
That's right. And you know, if you keep hearing how she's too busy with work, with family, with friends.
You know, it's interesting. I actually said to somebody the other day that I was talking to, I felt like they were distant. I felt like they just weren't there. Almost like they were a million miles away.
Oh. Is she talking about me?
I thought she was talking about you. So you just gave an awe to that? No.
No. Well, Elise, we'll get together soon.
Oh, please, sir, can I have some more? Oh, my.
Well, seriously, that's just lip service. You know, so just tell this person this is not what you signed up for.
Okay.
Be honest. You are all about honesty. Let them know that you're moving on. You know, and if you're still available when their life lightens up, then, you know, you guys might give it another try.
That answered a big question on my mind. It was that if it was at a time in your life when maybe you had to focus on something else, but you still cared for the person, could you take a break and then maybe once that other issue subsides, come back? And you just answered it perfectly. Maybe it could happen.
You know, the most important thing you can always remember, though, and this is really important, if somebody makes time to spend with you and wants to be with you, they're going to show you. You know, I mean, if they want to be with you, they're going to make sure they do. It's all in their actions.
She's absolutely right. If somebody wants to be with you, they will be with you, and they'll come hell or high water. They'll be there to spend the time with you.
And that's the truth. And so you have to be really careful about that, because if they're showing you something different, then you're better than that, and you don't need to be a part of that. Be a priority always.
Yeah, what I found for me in my younger days, nothing would stand in my way. I would walk 5 miles through a snowstorm to see my lady, because that's how much I missed her. And you know, if that's not happening, that's okay. But find someone who feels the same way about you.
Oh, absolutely, because you are the only you've got. And so you want to make sure that you take it, that whoever you're with treats you the way you want to be treated and the way you treat them.
Yeah.
And you can usually tell when it changes. I mean, every relationship that's ended in my life, like the couple serious ones, you kind of get that gut feeling because you kind of know something's changed, and you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
it, and you can tell by their
You
actions.
can feel the distance,
Yeah.
and you can feel when somebody is not there.
Yeah, and then you
You
start
know?
to be illogical, and it's just like, oh, well, it's just like this. It's like, no, you got to start to accept
And
it.
you know, the interesting part about the whole thing is that they might not be ready to end things with you, but they're showing you the distance. And so you have to take the signs. You have to see the signs.
And we don't always want to see the signs.
No.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. And just like, Elise says, when, they seem like a million miles away, but they're sitting right next to you. And that sitting right next to you is where that closeness ends.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's a clue that,
Big time.
yeah, that they're on the verge of ending things with you. And other things that could happen, the phone calls will get less frequent, they'll get shorter,
They'll stop texting you.
Yeah, conversations are less meaningful, and they feel like they have more of an obligation to talk to you as opposed to a real desire.
Sure.
So before you know it, that communication is non-existent.
Not at all.
And you, before that happens, should break that off.
Absolutely.
And what happens is, when you take it away, it sometimes changes the attitude.
Well, it's interesting. When you take something away from somebody, they want it back. They think about it for a little while, and they realize that it actually is important to them. And then they go through craziness trying to get it back. And the thing is that sometimes you go back and you go back and you go back, but there comes a time where you just don't go back anymore.
Yeah, when people talk to us, privately in the salon about the relationships, we pretty much give them the advice. And we tell them what you need to do is tell them, this isn't what I signed up for. We're separating. We're further apart. I think that we should separate. Let's take a break for a while. And if you do that, you will immediately see a change in attitude. But when we give this advice, nobody does it. They just don't do it.
Well, fear sets in. They're so afraid of losing the person that they're with that they don't realize that they've already lost the person. And before they lose themselves in it, take sight of what's going on. And that's the thing. Work on yourself. Pull away for a while and actually work on yourself and see what you can do for yourself. Because obviously you've become somebody that this person doesn't even want to be around. So you need to work on some things for yourself. And hopefully you'll either find somebody better or this person will want to, straighten things out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give them the it's not me, it's not you, it's me cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them that. Or maybe we're just not meant to be. Relationships shouldn't be.
Well,
relationships shouldn't be this much work, Elise.
When your partner starts talking to you in cliches, then you know you have a problem.
Well, maybe we're just too different.
Yeah, maybe we are.
And Elise, that's what makes us perfect together. We could be together, but not the same.
That is true.
I think I heard that on TV. So you feel like you guys are ready to split, but how much should you really work for the love? Relationships take work. I hear that all the time.
No, they do take work.
But I don't necessarily. I say that, but
they
I don't
should
agree.
be easy too.
Yeah,
They should just flow. I mean, that's the thing. It should just flow. It shouldn't be so difficult. Of course, when you say a relationship takes work, it's because you need to be attentive to your partner. And there are 3 things that you must do. You must pay attention. You must show your love. You have to do that. You have to show your affection. So it's like attention, affection, and there was another one that I was talking about.
Buying expensive gifts for her?
Definitely not. It has nothing to do with...
That's right. I was just testing you.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's your focus on the person, making her feel like a priority. And, that's so important to make sure you do that because you lose her.
You're right. We always say in our salon business that, our secret weapon is that we make people feel beautiful.
Yes.
And in a relationship, your secret weapon should be that you make your partner feel loved.
Mm-hmm. And feel important and feel sexy and beautiful and a priority. And the worst thing that you could possibly do, the worst thing, is that you could show it to somebody else in front of her. And that's awful.
Sometimes it just happens. You can't help yourself. So that's what it means to make a man work for your love. Because I was
But women work also.
Well, they do. I just read an article about a woman who felt like she had done all the work in her past relationship and didn't receive the same in return. At least as far as the effort was.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Now, this couple was in a long-distance relationship, but she was always the one flying back and forth, always the one cleaning his place and doing a multitude of other things for him.
That's all give and no take.
Yeah, where can I find a girl like that?
Oh, boy.
Never mind.
Did my look take care of that?
Oh, my God.
I just make sure.
I'm cold. The air conditioner just
be.
dropped 15 degrees in here.
You should be.
So let me rephrase. The man must make the conscious decision to put the effort in for the right woman at the right time. Am I right?
Okay. Well, if he's willing to go above and beyond this relationship, with the relationship, and to show how serious he is and to show how important she is, then yeah, it's about the relationship, you know. Meaningful relationships are built on love, of course. Love is always first, but trust and communication and compromise.
Oh, the compromise. I have a problem with that.
And mutual respect. There has to be give and take.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be one way. Otherwise, it just goes away.
Do men like it when a woman makes them, work for their love? I'm not talking about sex.
I think anyone, it doesn't matter if you like it or if you don't. I don't think that men necessarily find it difficult to work hard for something because, let's face it, if you work hard for something, you're going to get something fabulous in return. And that's the thing. Men don't get this about women. If you give her something, she's going to give it back to you 10 times that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the truth. I mean, you have to know this. That's one thing about men and women. And we operate very, very differently. If you give
that's the truth.
If you give us your attention, we will work so hard. We will do so much more. I mean, and that's the truth.
Yeah, that is the truth. I know that from firsthand experience.
It's the truth.
I really do.
It really is. But you know, one thing is, we never forget. We forgive, but we do not forget.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the part.
Well, then just don't do awful things, and there won't be a problem.
Sometimes you can't help yourself.
You can always help yourself.
So what you're saying is, it's get your man, sit him down, and tell him exactly what you need from him.
Exactly. Communicate. Communication is so important.
That's right. Don't be nasty or rude,
Here's
Elise.
the thing. Don't use my name in this because I'm not nasty or rude. But here's the thing. Ladies.
On microphone.
Ladies. Oh, my God. Ladies, and I'm talking about something very serious here. Ladies, this is very important. See, they just don't know. So we have to tell them. You can't expect them to be mind readers. They're not.
That's right. But ladies know what you want.
Absolutely.
So you can tell them.
Absolutely. Tell him, and tell him gently, and tell him seriously.
Yeah, because we're very sensitive.
Yeah. Tell him seriously, and just be truthful. And you know what? He very well may say, you know what? I can't do that. I just can't do that. And then at least you'll know. So
what you just said there, know how important it is to communicate your reasonable expectations right in the beginning.
Yeah.
So he can. And maybe start small and work your way up.
But be clear.
That's right.
Be crystal clear.
Yeah. Let him know you're not interested in the least bit about playing games or dealing with nonsense and
Nonsense, chaos, drama. No.
Yeah. You should expect more from him and yourself.
And from yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, some men are immediately turned off by women who aren't willing to compromise reasonable standards.
Well, I would think anybody would be turned off by anybody who wouldn't compromise something reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that would be unreasonable.
Yeah. I mean, it is 2016, and it's not unusual for a woman to pursue a man.
Oh, no, not at all.
You know?
Yeah, but you don't have to give it away all too soon. You know?
That's right.
I mean, just
That's right.
don't, you know, it's important to reciprocate.
We once said, don't be a wife to a boyfriend.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That is awful.
And anything worth having is worth fighting for, including a good woman.
And a good man. Definitely worth it.
Yeah. And you know, I've been told this many times, Elise. Your actions don't match your words.
It's the truth.
It is.
Make sure, whatever you do, make sure your actions match your words. Be a good man. And make sure your actions match your words.
That's right. Comfort and convenience are not substitutes for love. You know, sometimes when, you know, you're used to things being a certain way.
Oh, yeah, habits form. And everything, it can be a habit to fall into the same thing over and over and over.
You know, just because we're used to things being a certain way doesn't mean that we don't deserve better.
Oh, sure. Absolutely agree. Effort is very important, and both of you must be willing to put the effort in.
You know, that makes a difference.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, no one should feel like ever that they're doing everything.
That's right. At the end of the day, male or female, if you're not willing to put in the work, then maybe he or she is not the guy for you.
You know, maybe that's true. If you're not willing to do it, and you're not willing to compromise, and you're not willing to be the person that you would want in your life, what would make you think that he or she would want you? You know, I mean, so.
And it's not that you actually have to do and do and do and do.
No.
You have to be willing to do and do and do.
Yeah, but
that's
you know,
the difference.
Here's the thing. It's just checking in and saying hi. It's, you know, giving a call. I mean, everybody is busy. You know, everybody's working, everybody's busy, but checking in and saying hello, seeing how their day is going, sending a smiley face and a kiss, not a bad thing to do. It makes the person feel loved, and it makes the person feel like they're being thought of.
Yeah, and it's awful. Answer the text. I mean, it's awful. You send a little something. Just give a little smiley face to let them know.
Always answer. Always answer. Mm-hmm. It makes somebody feel awful when you don't.
Yeah, that's how one of my relationships ended, actually, was as I was the one texting a lot, and she even realized it over time that she wasn't really responding, and she felt bad about it, and I was like, oh, it's okay. But I kind of knew something was different, and then lo and behold, you know, it ended a couple months later.
What? I have a friend like that. So I just absolutely stopped texting and stopped calling for a long time, actually, because the person was non-responsive. And that's an awful thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, you can't be that way.
That's sometimes when you need to end a friendship.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you do.
Yeah. So, even though sometimes you meet people where they are, and sometimes you have to leave them where you met them.
Ah, yeah. And it's painful. It's absolutely painful. But we all deserve the very best.
You know, if you're having trouble in your relationship or you want to build a new relationship, did you ever hear of pheromones?
Oh, my God, yeah.
And what the pheromones are supposedly have this ability to drive the opposite sex wild.
And make things all better.
Yeah, it really does. And in my younger days, I used to get these colognes that have pheromones in them. And, you know, it's supposed to attract the opposite sex. It's supposed to make you...
You know what's interesting about pheromones, though? A very interesting thing is that if the person that you're sitting next to thinks you smell sexy, that's the right scent. If the person doesn't, that's the wrong scent. It's amazing. Pheromones are so interesting that way.
You are absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah.
You know,
with that, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even as far back as the gladiators, they used to scrape the sweat and dirt off the gladiators and put it in a bottle, and the women would rub it all over themselves. And
if they like that scent.
right. Now, there was a new article out on Slate.com which casts a more skeptical glare on the secretions and sexual attraction talk.
Really?
Yeah, according to the writer, his name is Randy Hutter Epstein, there is increasing evidence that the connection between pheromones and human sexual attractions is not only weak scientifically, but there's even some questions as to whether human beings even emit pheromones at all.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe that?
I believe that pheromones are right there. They've always said it. Cleopatra said it. It's there. I believe it's there. I've smelled it for myself. I've seen it work. It's amazing. I think pheromones exist.
Okay. Well, scientists say that...
I don't care.
You know, some scientists say that some species emit chemicals to stimulate a sexual response in their mates. But Epstein says that no scientific study has ever proven conclusively that mammals have pheromones.
I think Epstein doesn't have a girlfriend.
It's possible. Alrighty. So... Elise, it's obviously this lack of evidence hasn't stopped you from putting monkey secretions in your perfume or taking a chemical derivative out of the sweat in your body. But, you know, there are body care products that this stuff is put in, and they advertise that it boosts the opposite sex. But this may not explain why women remain single. We keep telling you, all you have to do, ladies, is say hi and be nice.
Be nice is important.
That's right. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com. Click on demand and scroll directly to us.
And if you have a topic of interest you want us to discuss, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.
Tune in next week and learn more about the health benefits of having an orgasm.